it's never easy. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Media. Today recapping tonight's game between the Phillies and the Miami Marlins. As the Phillies defeat the Marlins by a final score of 2-1 as they win the first game of this three-game series, snap the four-game losing streak. We struck out 14 times tonight, but we still managed to pull out the win. I guess before we get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please join this bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Not a very decisive win, though, right? As I said, we strike out 14 times. I mean, it's always a nightmare earlier in the ball game. Sandy Dominguez coming in the game. Phillies closer has to make it interesting. Bases loaded and 1 out, and we somehow were able to get out of it. I don't know how. Of course, we got the force at home and a ground ball to Bryson Stott, and then he strikes out the Philly murderer Miguel Rojas to end the ball game. So that was a miracle to be able to get out of that one. My goodness gracious. But a win is a win. We get back in the wheel column, as I said. Snap the four-game losing streak. Win the first game in Miami. So that certainly is a good feeling. Speaking of the scoring summary here in the bottom of the second inning, Brian De La Cruz hits a second base fly out to center as Avisair Garcia comes around to score as it's 1-0 Miami here in the second. So the Marlins, a fundamental baseball. To score Avisair Garcia, new acquisition for the Marlins, of course, previously with the Milwaukee Brewers last year. So he crosses the plate to put the Marlins on top 1-0. Pick it up here in the top of the seventh inning. Derek Hall doubles on a fly ball to left field. Rhys Hoskins comes around to score, and they sent Nick Castellanos, and he was thrown out at the plate. It was one heck of a throw from Miguel Rojas. Of course, Jorge Soler was able to get that ball in pretty quickly, and they were able to get Castellanos at the plate. You can't really fault Dusty Wathan too much for being aggressive. This is a Phillies team that has not done the job with scoring runs recently, so he's trying to make something happen. What do you got to lose in that situation? Yes, I understand it was a little bit risky, but this Phillies team has really been struggling offensively, so you needed to try to make something happen, and of course this didn't work out, so Castellanos was tagged out at the plate. Then pick it up here in the same inning, JT Realmuto, welcome back, bud. As he doubles on a ground ball to left field, Derek Hall comes around to score. Realmuto's 12th double of the season as the Phillies now lead it 2-1. Some JT Realmuto back in Miami. I guess he's feeling pretty good. So works his average up to 247, a 3-hit night for JT, and he is your Phillies Hot Stove Media player of the game. So one heck of a performance we saw out of JT tonight. So welcome back. It seemed like those 2 days of rest really did do him well, right? It really seemed to do him well. So he certainly was on tonight, no question about it. So that would be your final. The Phillies win 2-1. Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot. What in the world is wrong with this guy? Strikes out 4 times tonight. Average now jumps to 211. I mean, he has really had a dreadful road trip. Only 1 home run on this road trip. He's definitely not going to, break Mike Schmidt's record for most home runs for a Philly before the All-Star break. He's not even walking right now. Goes over 4 with 4 strikeouts. OPS now drops to 827. I mean, 28 home runs still with 57 RBI, but a 211 average. That's despicable. That's really despicable. And over his last 7 games, he's hit no 71 days, 103 on base percentage, 103 on base percentage over the past week. And he has a 210 on base percentage over the last 2 weeks, surprisingly. Of course, 15 days. That is just embarrassing. Really, just truly embarrassing. So he's lucky he got that All-Star nod secured, because I tell you, he has really been looking terrible. And Rhys Hoskins, it was a performance tonight, but at least he was able to draw a walk. That's something I could respect. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, usually that's what he does. But he hasn't even been walking recently. I mean, he's just been awful. He has truly been awful, and it's really discouraging. So, of course, Rhys Hoskins also scoring on the Derek Hall RBI double. And Nick Castellanos, 1 knock tonight. Of course, he was thrown out at home plate. A good relay from Soler to Miguel Rojas to home plate. Of course, Nick Castellanos, still collecting these one-hit games. He also goes down strikes 3 times. Average still sits at 251. Seems like it's been around there for a while. 671 OPS. Still just incredibly disappointing. And so think about this. I bring it up almost every time. So you got Nick Castellanos is batting 251. You got Kyle Schwarber is batting 211. So 40-point difference, right? Nick Castellanos is hitting 40 points higher than Kyle Schwarber. And Nick Castellanos has a 671 OPS, yet Kyle Schwarber has a 827 OPS. So almost 150 points difference between these two guys. I mean, that is just nuts. That is truly just crazy. And Derek Hall, it was a big one. The RBI double to left field to score Reese Hoskins to get the Phillies on the board. Also draws a walk tonight as his average now sits at 250. So he definitely needed that one, right? He has really not been looking good the past couple days. So we certainly needed that one. And JT Real Muto, 3 hits tonight, the RBI double to give the Phils the lead. So have a night, JT, right? I mean, he really did look like his old self tonight. The BCIB tonight, 100%. I mean, this guy really looked like the BCIB tonight. So hopefully he can, build momentum off of this, right? It seems like I said that a lot. I really mean it this time. 698 OPS, a 698 OPS. He is almost about to go over that 700 mark. Just climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. So hopefully he keeps going that way. Hopefully we can get it up to around 800 like he was last year. Still hard to believe. I mean, you think JT had such a down year last year, and the OPS ran around the 790 mark. So that's certainly no slouch for a catcher. I mean, 100%. And Bryson Stott, after a great series in Toronto where he hit 2 home runs in just 2 days, goes hitless tonight. One thing I will say about Bryson Stott, and we've seen this year, and we especially saw it tonight, he doesn't strike out very much. He puts the ball in play a lot, and that's something I like. It's something that needs to be talked about more. Matt Veerman gets a start at third. And he later moved to right field. His performance tonight, he's definitely starting to cool off, which is very unfortunate. So hopefully he can, get it going again. And Didi Gregorius, he was formed, so he's able to draw a walk, a rare occurrence. You don't really see Didi Gregorius draw many walks, right? This is a guy that is terrible at seeing the baseball. Well, first of all, he's just terrible at the plate, period. But, I mean, especially at drawing walks and seeing the baseball, I mean, it really reflects in the 634 OPS he has, and as well as the 234 average. And Mickey Moniak, is he ever going to get a hit? My goodness gracious, 2 strikeouts tonight. And he's hitting 130. He's hitting 130 with a 336 OPS. I mean, this guy is just a joke, right? Of course, he's no joke as a defender, but he really is certainly a joke at the plate. So I'm not really going to sound like too excited about this win, right? We strike out 14 times, and we only collect 5 hits as a team. I mean, we had 2 hits the other night in Toronto. So this offense is asleep. As I said, this was not a decisive win. A win is a win, but it wasn't a decisive win. And JT is why we won this game today, as well as Kyle Gibson going 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 run reserved, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. As he gets to win, I mean, that was great. I mean, only went 6 innings, but he certainly did the job. Now he's 5-3 on the year. So I was very, very impressed with what we saw to him tonight. So he's averaged a strikeout almost every inning, with 5 and 6. Yeah, I tell you, he really did a good job against the Marlins lineup, which really isn't any slouch, right? Of course, they're more for their pitching staff, but this is a team that really, really does well against the Phillies, especially down there at Marlins Park. And you were able to, pretty much, for the most part, I mean, really be solid against them in 6 innings of work. So I'm very impressed with Kyle Gibson's start. Of course, he's kind of a hot and cold guy, hit or miss, but tonight certainly was good. Jose Alvarado. Jose. I mean, coming in there in that 7th inning and striking out the side. 1, 2, 3 to go. I mean, how about that? Striking out the side. I tell you, and I understand everybody's going to say, hey, I thought you don't like this guy. Hey, listen up. I mean, I've always said I do not really like Jose Alvarado, but I love his stuff. I've always said that. I said I really, really like his stuff. And when it's working, it's on, man. It's on like tonight. I mean, you saw it was just insane. So keep it up. I mean, he's really been good as a lady. 4.50 ERA. I can remember when this guy's ERA was like in the high 6s, and now it's kind of all the way down to 4.50. 1.52 WHIP now, as well as 40 strikeouts in just 26 innings. So that is just incredible. This is a guy that definitely relies on that fastball and sinker. Listen, I always said, hey, you can throw that high velo, cool. I don't really care. This is what you got to locate it. And this guy knows how to locate it. That is for sure. Brad Hand going against his former squad in inning and striking at 1.217 ERA for Mr. Hand. He continues to be great. Coming out of his Phillies bullpen in a setup role. Sir Anthony Dominguez, not very Sir Anthony Dominguez-like. I mean, these umpires just continue to remain terrible. I mean, that check swing call in that inning certainly was a questionable call. I mean, maybe did he hold up? I mean, possible. It was a hit or miss call, I will say that, but the umpires have still been terrible this year. I don't know if his wrist really broke the plane, but this was so close. And he just seemed like he just was missing on the black. Right? He didn't really seem like he was missing by a whole lot. 3 walks in that inning, and he was able to collect the strikeout to collect the final out of the ballgame. Miguel Rojas, he was able to get him fishing down low. So that certainly was nasty for sure. So the Phillies hang on to win 2-1. My goodness gracious, we need this offense to heat up. And honestly, I mean, this is a place, in Lone Depot Park that we do not hit very well at. I mean, it's no secret. We do not hit well down there at Lone Depot Park, formerly known as Marlins Park. I'm still used to saying that. So 4:10 the first pitch tomorrow afternoon. Ranger Suarez will get the start, right? I mean, coming off the IL with the back spasms. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do tomorrow. And the Miami Marlins call up Max Meyer, who has a career 2.77 ERA down there in the minors, and this year has a 3.69 ERA. So this is definitely going to be interesting. He's going to be making his major league debut, so this is certainly not good news for the Phils. But maybe they catch him kind of on an off start. I mean, this is his major league debut, right? It's not like he's done this before. He's definitely going to be overthinking things quite a bit, right? This is the first time he's ever walked on a big league field and pitched to big league hitters. So this is certainly going to be interesting. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. So Ranger Suarez, he's not going to probably go very deep tomorrow since it's going to be first start off the IL. So I expect 5-6 innings max. I mean, 6 like if it's a really good night. I mean, I think he's probably going to go 5. They're going to baby him. I mean, this is a guy that usually doesn't go to a lot of length, give you a lot of length anyway. So I don't really see him going very deep in this one. Just to talk a little bit further more about Kyle Schwarber's struggles, he is just over swinging like you can't believe. I mean, he had a terrible series in Toronto where he went 0 for 9, and of course he went 0 for 4 tonight. I'm going to say it again. I mean, at least when he was slumping before, he was mixing in the walks. He was, consistently getting on base. I mean, this has been bad. This has really been bad. He is not doing that. He has just been awful. Seriously awful. And this is what you're going to kind of expect out of a power hitter. And listen, I love the fact that he's hit 28 home runs. I love it. I mean, he almost has 60 RBIs. But the average drives me crazy. It's driven me crazy all year long. I mean, think about it. This guy's 11 points higher than the Mendoza line. Think about that for a second. This guy is an all-star, and his average is just 11 points higher than that Mendoza line. And yes, I understand the OPS sits just below 830, and for a while it was sitting way above that 850 mark, which is certainly, all-star to me. I mean, that's a really good OPS in my opinion, especially when you're hitting 220s. You see a guy that's hitting 250 with an OPS 30 points, almost 30 points below 700, Nick Castellanos. So I don't mean to keep bringing up the OPS, but in my opinion, I value OPS more than I do batting average. I mean, I've gotten to that point now where I always would just say, oh, this guy, it's such and such average. This guy's such and such average. Now I've gotten to the point where I actually look at OPS as more of a valuable stat than batting average. I mean, it makes more sense. I mean, how much you get on base, how much do you really rank up those extra base hits? So just some little NL East updates. As the Mets and Cubs game was postponed due to rain, but the Nationals lose 8-4 to the Atlanta Braves. I'll be going live with Sportsline the ATL tomorrow night. I'm not sure what time yet. As we're going to be live streaming that game. And the Phillies and Cardinals are now tied for the third wild card spot. It turns out, I was making that video the other night against the Blue Jays, right, that game recap, and I was so annoyed. It turns out the Cardinals ended up blowing it. I mean, wow. I mean, the Los Angeles Dodgers come back. I mean, I said it was over. It actually wasn't because I just thought they were going to win, and then they ended up losing that game. And they lost again tonight as the Phillies are now tied with the Cardinals. This is just a joke. Really just a joke. So Phillies now sit at 47 and 43. The Cardinals sit at 48 and 44. So 4:10 the first pitch tomorrow, as I said. So the Mets and Cubs will be playing a doubleheader tomorrow to make up tonight's game that was postponed due to inclement weather in Chicago, Illinois. So that is pretty much it. I mean, the Phils win a squeaker. It's never easy. You can never just sit there and exhale and have a nice 1, 2, 3, top or bottom ninth inning. It's always like, oh my gosh, are they going to win? Are they going to win? It's like, it's ridiculous. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you yet. Please turn your bell. Please like this video. Comment on this video. Share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter and Beyonce Media. Call or text 267-225-2292. Email me, philliesmedia@gmail.com. So guys, thanks for watching. I'm Luke and I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phils. I'll see you guys.